approached it as an 80% deal. So the idea was that I would have the equivalent of 1 day a week out of the office to, spend with my family. And that took a lot of flexibility, I guess, on both sides, and trust. And I mean, that doesn't sound like a very remarkable arrangement in the world that we live in now, where there's a lot more flexibility, but it was a really big thing for my colleagues to get their heads around, because I think they thought if you're only working 80% of the time, you're getting still 100% of the benefit of being a part of this partnership. Not financially, but in terms of all of the other comforts that get wrapped around you. Is that fair? But I think most part-time workers would say they actually put in more discretionary effort than their sort of 80%. So anyway, it worked out pretty well, but I mean, it was still 80% of a very, very long working week, because I couldn't contain the work to just 9 to 5, Monday to Thursday or whatever.
You reframed any fear you had as excitement, which I think is really smart, right? Okay, what's the possibility here? I get that. Yet, was there a time when it was just pure fear? the swirling before the actual decision, or maybe even after the decision, that was predominantly fear. Was there a time when it was just that?
Well, probably. I think, looking back now, it's easy to paint everything with rose-tinted glasses, but at the time, yes, because you're not only leaving something that where you're competent, where you have a certain income, to walk into something that you have no idea if you can do, let alone succeed in. There is no certainty.
I think that's really healthy. There's this lovely term, free up your future. And so you had a potentially predetermined future, that this is the path. But you went, no, I'm going to free up my future. And some stories around, I'm going to create space for others to step in, really helpful.
I guess for me, what has been helpful in this whole process has been redefining what is success. So, and this is something a lot of my friends, we're all sort of middle-aged now, and I'm seeing a lot of friends actually changing their careers or their paths, or making big life decisions about what next, because I think obviously we're working for longer, and our lifespans are increasing. And so when I look at my grandparents who were elderly at 60, I mean, I think now people are starting new careers at 60 and looking to, and so I think with all of that in mind, working out what does success look like for you. So for example, is it having the nice house, the nice cars, the nice holidays, or is it something more fundamental? And I think, of course, when you're young and you're leaving high school and everyone's telling you these are the goals you've got to meet, that's one thing. But I think you get to a point where you do have some options. It might not feel like you have options because you're looking at everybody else around you and they're all sort of still moving forward on that same path of material accomplishments.